This is it right here. This is the original video that kept me up all night, where I learned that you really shouldn't be putting your kids in the third row of your minivan, SUV, really any third row vehicle, according to the paramedics and the EMTs that were commenting on this video. Now, I'll get to the comments about riding in the third row, but I will say that you should totally spend the time scrolling through these comments again if you don't have anxiety or anything that's going to trigger you, because I learned a lot of good things. Like this one right here, when you're stopped at a red light and the light turns green, if you're that first car, don't just automatically go right away. That's a good way to get T-boned. Should definitely wait a few seconds. Lots and lots of people were commenting that same thing. You can see other tips down here too, like putting your kids in bright bathing suits when they're swimming, not putting your feet on the dashboard, all kinds of useful life tips. But here's where things started getting really interesting, and somebody actually made a video response to this. It was a paramedic, of like a full video of him talking, and when I went back to this comment, it was not there anymore. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it got reported because it was a little gruesome, like the details. But anyways, you can see this comment here. It says, "No one I love will ever sit in the third row of a minivan, signed paramedic." And then tons of people start commenting here, "Not talked about enough. This needs explained. There's virtually no crumple deceleration zone, so in a rear end collision, all of the force goes into the third seat passengers. Look it up on crash test ratings. Terrible outcomes." You can see here too, the third row is being significantly less safe than the second row. You can check the ratings, do all your own research. And there are hundreds of comments from EMTs, paramedics, nurses, coroners who are commenting on this with their own experiences, and it's really terrifying. You can click on this top comment right here to take you to the original video that I posted, where I show you how tiny the back of my SUV is and how I'm super paranoid about my kids sitting in the third row seat. So we added a hitch and like a grate thing to the back of our Expedition to try to reduce the blow if someone were to rear end us. Highly recommend going through and reading all the comments on my original video too, because you will read story after story from moms who did in fact have their kids in the third row, but had a hitch or a grate on the back just like I do, and it did in fact absorb a lot of the blow. As much as people want to say that it's not going to make that big of a difference, according to these moms who actually had it happen to them, it does make a difference. Whether you think it's fear-mongering or if you actually think it's useful information, the fact is us moms feel like we can never do enough to keep our kids safe, but making little modifications, doing little things like this really might make a difference.